This is Professor Raymond Noble, Department of Ancient History, log entry number 2. I believe I am moving to distant past.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Well, sometimes that is better.
I like to dissect girls, if you know an utterly insane.
Have you checked the children?
Michael!
Beware the stare of Mary Shaw.
Movies don't create cycles. Movies make cycles more creative.
I myself am strange and unusual.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
I just can't take no pleasure in killing.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured?
The juice is loose.
Unpleasant dream.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Terror Talk. I'm your host, Jeremy.
And I'm Ansley.
And on this episode, we are taking you back on up to the good old mountains of Tennessee. This time, we are visiting McMinnville, Tennessee, where we visit Rigor Mortis Haunted House. This is a new one for us, and literally, this probably will be a pretty cut and dry, one and done really quick episode because of how good it was. Like, there's not a whole lot of negative. In fact, I don't think there's any negative we can say about this haunt.
We got a elementary scare.
Okay, so fine, there's one negative. But other than that, like, this was a really good haunt. So we're gonna drive in. We're gonna drive into the haunt, apparently. We're just kidding. We're not driving into the haunt. But we are going to dive into the haunt, and we're gonna talk all about Rigor Mortis Haunted House. And at this attraction, you get 2 haunts for the price of 1. It is a wonderful deal. The first haunt is the Dybbuk Box Curse. Hidden within the shadows of the old McMinnville Library, there lay a sinister artifact, the Dybbuk Box. This ancient box, etched with cryptic symbols and eerie faces, was said to be cursed, looking for a living human to attach to. One stormy evening, a curious woman named Eliza stumbled upon the hidden room. Drawn by an inexplicable force, Eliza approached the Dybbuk box, feeling a chill run down her spine. Ignoring the warnings, etched in the dust-covered books around her, Eliza opened the box. Instantly, the library was plunged into darkness. Whispers filled the room, voices of the damned echoing through the aisles. Eliza's breath quickened as visions of horrific images flashed before her eyes. Fires consuming the town, shadows creeping through the streets, and faces twisted in eternal agony. The spirits trapped within the Dybbuk box began to materialize, their ghostly forms swirling around Eliza. Desperate to escape, Eliza tried to close the box, but the spirit's grip was too strong. They clawed at her, their icy fingers leaving marks on her skin. The room seemed to spin and the walls closed in, trapping Eliza in a vortex of darkness and fear. With a final sinister scream, Eliza was pulled into the box, her fate sealed. The Dybbuk box, now closed, sat quietly in the library, waiting for its next victim. The library, once a place of knowledge and refuge, had become a gateway to the darkest of horrors.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, the first haunt. This haunt was absolutely insane because the first room was like a 4D attraction. The floors moved, the walls moved, was projection mapping, which unfortunately you won't get to see some of this in our video. We were allowed to record, but just our reactions on this trip. Shout out to Jordan for being so absolutely incredible and accommodating to us on this trip. We really were able to work out some great things for this trip and this attraction, and have already been told, please come back, and, we can definitely work some stuff out in the future, which we absolutely intend to come back, because it was just that freaking good. But, the first whole upstairs area was a complete 40s sort of experience in the first room, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that this haunt was built inside of what appeared to be like a shopping center, basically. It was very, very well masked.
Yeah, as soon as you got in, you went from being in like a corporate-y looking area in the ticket booth, like ticket room.
Yeah, because it
counter.
was like a whole room.
Yeah. You went from like the white walls with just like the posters from the haunt and like carpet and like kind of corporate-y looking zigzag lines. What do you call those? Switchbacks?
Yeah.
Switchbacks and uh then you like look behind the counter and there's some awesome props and we were actually told that
That Jordan takes some of the things that he's created, like he designed some like statues, I think it is, and he will actually sell them at Transworld, which is a huge haunt convention that if you ever get the chance to go to it, hopefully this year we're going to try and make it out there for it. But if you ever get the chance to go, it is highly, highly recommended. But yeah, I mean, Ansley's absolutely right. You walk in there and it looks like totally like a corporate just room. Like it seems like a store you're walking into, basically.
very juxtaposition to the rest of the haunt.
Yes, like it. Honestly, at first glance, it's like something doesn't belong here. Like you see the whole facade on the front of the building, and it's obviously very well done and very impressive. But it's like, oh, this is a haunt? Like, interesting. And it's in the most unlikely of places because you're in a huge, basically strip mall, and you have all these businesses around it. It's almost like a storefront where like, you know, your jewelry store or a clothes store, or, you know, something simple and small would be. And this is anything but that. Like, hands down, it is incredible. I will say when you first walk in to the actual haunt itself after visiting the ticket booth or the ticket room, I did get a little nervous at first because we walked in and it honestly looked very corny. Like it was just these like red satin curtains. And so I was kind of like, this is what we're going to get. Right. This is not going to be good. And then it was almost like they could read my mind and went, okay, hold my moonshine. Because we're in Tennessee, it has to be moonshine, right?
Womp womp.
Okay, bad joke. Anyways, they were like, we got you. I didn't say anything to them, but like that's what the inner monologue was in my head. And then we got into the first room and I went, oh shit. They ain't playing around. This is some top-notch entertainment set work. Like it was really, really impressive. Because they kept saying you're going to go into the library, and I'm thinking, okay, you can do so much with a library set. What are you going to see, right? No, they themed this sucker out. Books all on the walls, bookshelves, big square room, carpets on the floor. It was highly, highly, highly themed. And you walk in there, and there are some, like I said, there's some surprises. I won't tell you what exactly is happening in the storyline in case you get to check it out this year, and in case it is still a part of it next year, because we were told that they will focus on one of the two floors because it's a two-story haunt. First haunt is upstairs. The second haunt is actually underground it's on the second floor. And we were told that they will focus on one haunt in the off season and like make that their primary focus on what they're going to change, because people find things that they love and they have their little standout things like, oh, we want to see that stay. Which is a grand and glorious thing.
And you're not telling the most impressive part.
Which part?
The fact that they built this first area in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, I was getting to that actually, but I'm glad you brought it up. We really can't do it justice talking about it. It's one of those things that you have to see it for yourself. The amount of like what they did with this, it was like Disney World level, Universal Studios level, like
yeah,
high.
Don't say Disney because Disney is not on the same level as them.
Okay, Universal Studios level. Like, it was like going into a theme park attraction that has been meticulously thought out. It has moving parts, it has effects of all sorts of grandeur. It really was shocking. I was not expecting this, and all the stuff happening at once. Like I said, there's some surprises in store. I don't want to give it all away, but it sets up the story. And had I been paying attention, I would have known that. But I was just so in awe by everything going on around me, because you have like I said, you have things happening all around you. We did already mention the projection mapping that happens, and that was really freaking cool, because we don't see that too often in haunts.
Going back to my comment, because I in my brain it sounded differently than what I said. What I mean by Disney is not on the same level is Disney, they don't do blood and gore and terrifying things. You walk into this haunt and you're on a movie set. That is the only way I know how to, like, describe it. Like, it's like you walked into a horror film.
And I think we actually had the distinct privilege to speak with Jordan, the owner, afterwards. Before we go any further, I have to point this out. He is 23. He is one of the youngest haunt owners we've met.
Not the youngest.
He's not the youngest, but
he's a close run.
Yeah, about to say he's close second. He says he's been doing this for 6 years. I did the math on that today, and what that means, he's been doing it since he was 16, 17? If he's 23? Yeah. So since he was 17 years old building this haunt. And I'm just like, how do you, like, what in the world? And he gave us a whole awesome insight into what he has done and his, like, backstory and his background, where he comes from. So it all makes perfect sense. And, like, for me especially, like, I really relate to him, because, like, he talks about, like, he always did, like, decorating Christmas lights and stuff on his, I think he said his grandmother's house or something.
I thought he said that he had a little business where he did it.
Maybe it was something like that, but he said he always loved decorating and doing that sort of thing. And so and he's got his love for Halloween, obviously. I guess you have to be in this business, don't you? And so I can relate to that, because I've always loved decorating the house for the different seasons and doing things like that. And I've always had the dream of opening a haunted house too, so.
And behind every great man is a woman who has supported him and is basically his cheerleader. And that would be Miss Katie, who we had the pleasure of meeting at the gift shop. She was very lovely, very hospitable, very, very friendly. She was awesome, completely awesome. She talked to us a little bit and had told us this was her 4th year?
4th year with the company, yeah. Or with the haunt.
And she said that even though it is her home base, it still scares her. And to their credit, I can totally see that. Because, I mean, if you've been listening to the Terror Talks or watching the Terror Talks for a little while, you will know that I don't really get scared.
It's true.
And I got scared like 11 times on this one. Like, that is extremely hard to do once or twice, let alone 11 times. Like, we counted it up, and there's probably some I missed. But 11 times, guys. I was over here feeling like Jeremy.
Yeah, it was pretty funny getting to see her get a couple scares in here and there this time. I was I was very happy about that. That made my absolute night. So thank you to y'all for making sure she got some scares now too, because that was a wonderful thing.
Because that was extremely hard to do, guys, and y'all pulled it off. And we're not giving away information or anything for future events on the Terror Talks, but there may be something in y'all's future where that's concerned.
Yeah, that's something very special.
Very, very special.
So like we said, shout out to Jordan and... by the way, we're horrible with names, so if your name is not Katie and we're wrong, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. That is just what we remember, but, I mean, we've visited so many haunts this season that they all just sort of meld together in terms of names after a while.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm like 98% positive I remember you saying your name was Katie, so that's what I've been going with.
Yeah, Katie sounds about right, and good enough for us. So...
But if that's not your name, like, we sincerely apologize.
Yeah. So moving back into the haunt, like we said, incredible feat for a 23-year-old to construct this haunt to the way it is. Everything in there, from start to finish, is Hollywood level. Like, the sets are pure Hollywood quality. They, like Ansley said, it looks like you have walked onto the set of a film, and you can tell there is no skimping and scraping on that. Like, the walls are built up. I don't remember looking up and seeing a ceiling, basically.
That's because you didn't.
And that is one of my pet peeves. I'm not sure. I can't remember how they did it. I don't even remember if they did it. I know some haunts will use the mesh camouflage we've talked a lot about on the show. And then some haunts will, like, find a way to, like, create a false ceiling. Some haunts won't do anything.
I'm pretty sure that's what they did. Was the
like,
false ceiling.
I think the ceiling might have been... It was either a false ceiling or they painted the roof black. Like, because you could not tell that there was a ceiling in there.
But you would still be able to see, like, the regular lights, if that was the case, because this is built in, like, an old store.
Yeah, that's true. So you would see something, I guess.
Yeah, and ceiling down to the floor. It is themed up, guys. Like, there's one area... And it's a haunt staple, and I don't know if Jeremy's just gonna come out and tell you what it is. But it has like a grass floor.
Oh yes.
And of course it is the AstroTurf, and you do have to suspend your disbelief just a little bit. But they made it feel like grass, not just laying down some AstroTurf and calling it a day. Like, they actually textured it. I swear to you, I saw like little holes that were made to look like, to give you the illusion of depth. Like, and I could be wrong about that. I could have been just seeing what I wanted to see because it was that cool. But you step on it and you feel like you were stepping on the most lush grass ever.
Yeah, it was really impressive because it was just like, oh my god, look, we're not walking on a standard floor anymore. We're, actually walking out into the cemetery.
Yeah,
so to speak.
And we're not walking on AstroTurf that's just been laid over concrete. We are literally, it feels like we are walking on grass.
Yeah, it was definitely shocking. All the levels of detail. There were times where, like, it was kind of interactive, like, you would have to open doors to get to the next scene, which was a really cool touch, because we've never really seen that. Usually, the next place you're going is already cut out in, like, a hole for you, or you're walking through a curtain or something.
And then it's got, like, arrows or something on it.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of curtains, little funny moment that Jeremy's going to be a little embarrassed about. So, this is, again, another one of those that we have a Inside the Haunt video for. And you will get to, like, hear the moment more than see it, because like we said, we only got to record our faces and, like, our reactions to everything. But there was a curtain, and it was hung very stiffly. And Jeremy was pushing on it, but he was pushing on the part that was actually stapled to the wall and didn't think he was supposed to go through it. He couldn't find his way out. And he's like, I can't get through. And, like, I just reach over and push the curtain, and my hand goes through it. I'm like, it's a curtain, you dumbass.
Yeah, not my finest moment, but you know what? She's mean to me.
I am mean, but you love me and I love you, and that's all that matters, right?
I mean, true.
And you're mean to me too.
Why are
so
you so mean to me? What did I do to deserve this?
You're mean to me too.
Yeah, true.
Besides the point, irrelevant. Sorry, Jeremy is typing something.
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing two things at once.
He's not great at multitasking, guys.
But anyway, so yeah, like you have to actually open doors as you go through this haunt. It has like a layer of interactivity with it, which we have not seen too terribly often. We've seen some light interactivity or interactivity in other ways, but never like, oh, I've got to open this door myself and figure out what's going on here. So that was really cool to get to experience that.
Yeah, it definitely kept you in the scene.
Yeah,
like as
for
if you
sure.
were escaping that scene.
Yeah, it was definitely an impressive thing, to say the least. They had a complete blackout maze at one point of the haunt that absolutely tripped us up to no end.
Well,
well, okay, fine. Embarrassed Jeremy again, it tripped me up to no end.
Yeah, he put me in front of him and I immediately found the exit. But I'm not taking anything away from that because here's the thing. It's an actual maze. Like, it's not just a dark hallway that's got all these twists and turns and you're calling it a maze. No. There's actually dead ends in this maze. So it's going to take you a minute to get out if, like, you're not hugging walls and such.
Yeah, it was disorienting, it was confusing, and it was just like, oh my god, where am I? I have no unearthly idea, right? And like Ansley said, you know, I swapped with her and put her in the front, and she figured her way out like it was nothing. And I'm just like, okay, well, good for you, I guess.
But they do give you a cool little scare right there at the end, which we're not going to spoil.
Yeah, I was like, we will not tell you how that goes, but it is really cool. So yeah, the haunt itself is so well done. The actors, they did a really good job. The ones we encountered,
yes, definitely.
They did not resort. Well, okay, one did resort to elementary scares. But we're not there yet. We'll talk about her when we talk about the downstairs portion, which, I mean, I guess I did not tell you guys the story of the downstairs portion of the haunt. So let me tell you about the second haunt theme, which is called Voices Under the Stairs.
Ooh, spooky. This is the first time I'm getting to hear these guys.
Yeah, we did not read about those before we got there.
Yeah, Jeremy will read about them, and I just go off of vibes and experience it as if I'm just somebody that, oh, look, there's a haunt, let's go, kind of person.
So, Voices Under the Stairs. Late one night, eerie whispers seeped from beneath the stairs of an old, decrepit building. Descending down narrow, creaking steps, the whispers grew into unsettling murmurs, leading to a hidden, rotting door at the bottom. Behind it, a chilling entrance to the underground McMinnville mortuary. Inside lay rows of decaying pews, ancient caskets, and grotesque, forgotten relics. The whispers seemed to beckon through a labyrinth of shadows until the sights of nightmarish cemetery. Tombstones covered in thick, slimy moss and twisted ivy stood in crooked rows, and the whispers seemed to rise from the very earth beneath. Curiosity digs deeper upon a pair of massive, ominous wooden doors, leading to a dimly lit room dominated by a grand, crumbling staircase. An overwhelming sense of dread fills the air when suddenly a ghastly woman's spirit materialized at the top of the stairs. Her face horrifyingly distorted, and where her eyes should have been, there were only cavernous black voids. The eyeless woman's spirit began to glide down the staircase with unnatural speed. The whispers grew into tormented screams as the woman reached out with a skeletal, translucent hand. The spirit's hollow gaze seemed to tear into the very essence of anyone who dares to near her. So that is Voices Under the Stairs. So, like we said, there was a lot to see in both haunts. Sets, again, were absolutely incredible in this one. I think this was the one where we did run into some issues with an actor, but other than that one teeny tiny issue, it was not enough, at least for me. I cannot speak for Ansley, but it was not enough for me to be like, oh my gosh, time to condemn them to death.
Well, before we get into that, I just wanted to say, like I said, this is my first time hearing the names of these haunts, or these pieces of this specific haunt, and the stories behind them. And it is written from the perspective of somebody who is actually going through this haunt. And it is very, like, very theatrical, very, like, it's a dark and stormy night. You know, like you're listening to a scary story around a campfire. And I absolutely love that. He was reading that a minute ago, and I actually was able to, like, pinpoint the part in the haunt that I was at that that we saw this woman coming down the stairs, and the tombstones and everything. It was like I was going through the haunt again. Like, it put me back in that mind.
Yeah, that's it. We didn't read these tales before visiting, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I think it gave us a fresh perspective. But reading them now, it was like, ooh, we're back. And it was a really cool little thing. So, going through, like we said, the sets were really, really well done. This one, they said that you're underground. I don't know that you're underground so much as you're just in the lower level of this shopping center. I guess technically you're underground. I'm not really sure.
It would still be like underground because you're kind of like in a basement.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm not really sure how all that works, but like they definitely play up the hype of, oh, you're going underground, you're going downstairs. A guide leads you down there, and you actually pass by this giant mound of grass. So it's like, oh yeah, no, we are going underground. So it is very possible that you are legitimately underground, and even when you come out after the fact, you have to go up a bunch of stairs to get out to the other level. So that was kind of cool. It really threw us off because we left out the gift shop. It sort of entered like another mini shopping center.
Yeah.
Like, it was really weird.
Funny little thing. We walked in, and there's just these guys sitting at a table, like, in this, like, corporate, very, like, professional looking hallway.
Yeah, it was
almost
like
this? It was almost like their Men in Black were just like, you know what? It's break time for us, so we're gonna go eat our snacks.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little snacky snack.
And I swear to you, I think there was like little stores and stuff down there that were closed, obviously, because it's after hours. But it was kind of like we walk out of like a movie set into a mall, like a very small mall.
Yeah, that's literally what it felt like, and that may be like what it actually is just like by day it's a mall, and it's probably always a mall, because what we actually also figured out is that the owner is a magician. We didn't know this, and then
yeah, we were looking something up for this review and found out that he is the magician, and I was like, what magician? And Jeremy said
that when you purchase your tickets, they will actually give you a coupon for the magic show that they do, I guess, at other times. And so that was really cool. I was like, oh my god, he's the, he is literally the magician. So that was really cool. I did not know that. That actually kind of explains a lot, though, in terms of, like, all the smoke and mirrors and whatnot. Like, he knows how to do that stuff because he's a magician. So that kind of makes perfect sense, really.
And what the funniest part to me was the fact he goes, we have to go see him do magic, and I have coupons.
It's true. I do have coupons, and we will go see him do magic. We have to. It is a must now.
We have the coupons.
Right. But so anyways, like, we keep getting sidetracked. There's a lot of good to talk about on this haunt. All of the actors did some really good scares, very unique scares on us. Some of them were like, I noticed, covering like double duty. So they'd get you at one part of the haunt, and then you'd come up on their other side and they'd catch you again because they were able to access you from both sides. I will say there probably, in my opinion, could have been more actors. I would have liked to have seen some more in there. But I do think that the ones that were there held their own very, very well.
Yeah, and now's the time where we break the bad news and tell them about the actor that unfortunately broke one of the golden rules of haunting.
We're gonna let Ansley be the bitch.
I'm sorry, I will be the bitch, but I will also be a nice person too.
Okay, she'll be a nice bitch.
I'm a nice bitch. So as we were going through one of the scenes, and I guess we can say it now that it's already been established in the storyline that this is in here. We were going through the graveyard, and one of the scare actresses in there came through a drop-down window and yelled, "Help me."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Everybody say ooh.
Ooh.
Everybody say aw.
Ah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Elementary scare.
Yeah, elementary scare. And I looked at Jeremy and I was like, no, they were doing so good. No.
Yeah, we were very disappointed by that.
But here's the but. The but. Here's the part where I be nice.
You have a butt?
Yes, I have a butt. You have a butt.
Oh.
Oh.
Tell us about the butt.
No. I'm going to tell you about the however.
Please do.
So, I don't know if she heard us or if she realized that she had done it. Maybe we were one of those groups that kind of just snuck up on her. I don't know. But she quickly changed her tune and actually did a more original scare as we walked around and she faced us again. So, she very much redeemed herself because it was a very, creative dialogue that we got on the second time we saw her.
Yeah, she did redeem herself, and so that was really good that she was able to do that. Because a lot of times when we get these elementary scares, you don't necessarily get a second chance, so to speak. And one of the things we harp on too is, if you pop out, we said it on an earlier episode, we don't like to hear the same spiel over and over again. And it would have been very easy for this girl to just pop out a second time and be like, help me again. But she didn't do that. She actually changed it up. I'm not sure if she noticed that me and Ansley were like, oh, elementary scare, oh no.
Yeah, I don't even think we said that it was an elementary scare. I think it was more the fact that we were like, oh no, they were doing so good.
Yeah.
And she realized what she had done.
Right. I'm not sure which one it was. She definitely realized, though, I'm assuming she realized, because she made the effort to change it up for us and, made it work. So good on her for that, because we don't get that too often. Like we said, a lot of times it's like, oh, what do you guys know, sort of thing.
Yeah, you get those elementary scares, and it's just that. And there's no redeeming, because, okay, in her case, it's a little bit of a special case because she actually sees us twice, and most of the time when we get these elementary scares, it's as we're walking through a room where we're only going to see this actor once.
That is fair.
But, when you do get that opportunity, don't waste it. And
right.
She definitely did not.
No, she redeemed herself tenfold, and that was a beautiful thing. So we're very proud of her for that, because she caught it.
Not to say that this elementary scare is okay, guys, but we're just saying that she did redeem herself.
Yeah, we still stand by what we always say, which is don't ever say help me or get out, because that will ruin the experience, at least for us. So be wise and don't use those ones, because they're not original, they're not creative.
Yeah, say it with me, guys. Elementary scares are not scary.
No, they're not scary.
Okay, I'm done harping on you, sweetheart. You did a good job redeeming yourself, though.
Yes, you did. We are very proud of you. Good job. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot more to say. This haunt is one that is definitely one for the books. It is definitely on our list of haunts that we will be revisiting. We found out that they do a Valentine's Day haunt, so we're going to go back and check that out.
Oh, you love me. You really love me.
She has made that joke about 1,000 times since we have left that haunt.
Because I like spooky shit.
Fair point. So we will definitely be returning for Valentine's Day.
Like, my thing is, you know how much I love the spooky shit. And I'm very easy to buy for. You buy me Halloween decorations and spooky shit, and I'm happy.
This is true. Not to mention the fact that, there's a lot of Valentine's Day haunts that we can go to. So it's like we have a lot of options where that's concerned.
And yet, I don't usually get Valentine's Day haunts.
It's okay, because this year we've opened up our, shall we say...
We widened our net.
We widened our net, there you go. So we're not going to go to the same ones we always go to. We have new ones we can go to now, and some that you can act at, too. So,
hell yeah.
That's a really cool thing. So, enough talking. Rigor Mortis. Oh, actually, you know what? I do want to talk about one other thing, because we didn't talk about it yet. The gift shop. As we always say, all good things must end near the gift shop. And they do. It was actually... Oh, that was the other thing. The ending of this haunt was done in... I don't want to give it away because it's such a unique ending. It's one that we have not seen before. Obviously, the one thing I will say, get ready. There's a chainsaw. There always is. That's how you know it's a good haunt, is if you get a chainsaw at the end. Well, that's not always true. But in this case, it was true. But they did something really, really cool. It was a really cool effect. And I know how they did it because it really wasn't that, it's kind of obvious, and we kind of spoiled it for ourselves because of the way it worked out. We weren't sure where we were supposed to go, and so the girl kind of had to be like, come on, to let us know to keep coming. So we kind of ruined the effect for ourselves. But seeing it in that moment, all I will say is there is a long hallway, and there is a girl. And really cool stuff happens.
And a chainsaw.
And really cool stuff happens, and by the end of it, you're running out the door. Of course, we don't run, but I think we might have ran for the sake of the video, because we were like, oh my god.
So, with me, like I said, I don't run, but all the excitement, because I love going through haunts. Haunts are my happy place. I say all the time, haunted houses are my Disneyland.
It's true.
So, that being said, Jeremy may have been running for the aesthetic. I was running because that chainsaw was, so close to my back that the, buzzing was vibrating my shirt.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't get the door open, so we were kind of stuck. And then we got it open finally and spilled out into the gift shop.
It was still pretty cool, though. We were very excited about that. So it was a very cool ending. So yeah. Then you come into the gift shop. Lots of cool stuff in their gift shop. Things you wouldn't typically notice in a gift shop for a haunted house. They had socks. They had makeup palettes, costume makeup and stuff.
It was a little something for everybody.
Yeah, it really was. Like I said, we've never seen that before. And so to see that, was oh my god, that's really cool, actually. That is a really neat thing.
But we did get our little hearts broken a little bit.
We did?
Because we both wanted to get t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
And because this haunt is so amazing, and so many people have caught on to the fact that this haunt is amazing, they were sold out of our sizes.
Yeah, they did not have any t-shirts for us. Which
they
really
had t-shirts, but they weren't for the haunt.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they have a little bit of something for everybody. So, they had purses and makeup and socks and stuff. I would have liked to see a little bit more, of their merch. because I saw the t-shirts. They obviously have one of the t-shirts on a mannequin in there. But I don't really think that they had a lot of like their merch there.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like I expected to see a lot more, and unfortunately we just didn't see that. So that was rather sad.
But as we're talking about the gift shop, I'm going to mention one of my favorite parts that really shows you how much love and attention that they put into this haunt. As you're walking into the gift shop, if you look to your right, right against that wall you just passed, there's a little table. And on that little table is a notebook and a pen because they want you to sign your name in that book. Maybe like write if what you liked about the haunt or whatever. It's just kind of like a little guest book. And it's very, very clever. Like, it is an awesome way to get, like, little snippets of how people felt, or, like, about how many people were there, or, just something fun and a nice little homey touch to this very, very loved haunted house.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing, and we did in fact sign. We should have taken a picture of it.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
It's fine. That's it. We know we were there. They know we were there. So that
But,
that
if y'all visit, y'all can always, find our little Easter egg we left.
if it's still there, it might not be there next. They might get a different
Yeah, they may get a
book
new one.
next year. Who knows?
And if they do, shout out to you guys. Y'all got our signatures. I think y'all got our first Terror Talks autograph.
Right. That's hopefully that's something to brag about.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah. But so yeah, lots of really good things to talk about on this show, on this particular episode. Really cool stuff going on here. Like we said, we had a great time at Rigor Mortis. It was one of the best haunts we've been to this season. So it is now time to rate it. I will go first on this one because I want to. I'm gonna give it a solid 5. There's not enough in there to, shall we say, harp or, you know, beat up the one actress who did have her little moment. It's not enough to have ruined it for me.
Especially since she recovered so well.
Right. So because of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm good with it. So I was very, very pleased with it. So it's a solid 5 for me.
I'm not sure how you keep reading my mind.
Yeah, it's a gift, I suppose.
It's a gift. We just finish each other's ratings.
Oh. Well, okay, I guess we don't know each other as well as we thought.
Anyway. So I am also going to give them a 5 out of 5. This was one of those haunts, and I've had a couple moments like this. Some that I didn't really speak on, but I have wanted to give them a 10, but since we only go to 5, I'm like, well, I guess I gotta give them a 5 then. But if I could have gave this haunt a 10 just for the sheer amazement I had going through here, from the set work to the love and attention to details to like all of the experiences that I've never had in a haunt, and the 11 scares they got out of me.
Right.
That had a big part of it. Because again, I don't get scared in haunted houses. By the way, shout out to that one clown that scared me at least 3 times. A little bit embarrassing, but you know what? It's fine. Props to you there, Mr. or Mrs. Clown, or non-binary clown. But like I said, the only thing that we really could say was that one elementary scare, and that scare actress was so professional that she immediately fixed it.
Yep.
So, 5 out of 5, I'd give y'all more if I could.
For absolute certain. So, 5 from Ansley, 5 from me. That's a grand total of, drumroll please, 5 Screams. Rigor Mortis Haunted Attractions is a 5 Screams rated haunted attraction by our Terror Talk Scream Scale. But don't just take our word for it. Go check it out for yourself this haunt season. As of the night of this recording, you still have time this haunt season to check them out. They are going to be open for the next 3 nights as of recording this, or if somehow you manage to hear this in time before they close tonight, they're open till 10:30, I believe. They're either 10:30 or they're open till 11 tonight. So if you happen to catch this episode before 11 o'clock, go check them out. We'll try to get it up before it's too late. But they are open on tonight, Halloween night, and then November 1st and 2nd. On November 1st and 2nd, they're open from 7 to 11, and on Halloween, 7 to midnight. So we highly encourage you to check out Rigor Mortis Haunted House, located in McMinnville, Tennessee. McMinnville, Tennessee. I hope I said that earlier. I hope I didn't say the wrong state. That would be really bad if I did. But you can get your tickets online, and they have a few different options where tickets are concerned. They have general admission for $28, Fast Pass for $38, immediate VIP for $58, and with that immediate VIP, you also get a signed cast poster for the 2024 season, which we were able to get, and that was really, really cool.
Well, one of us got a signed one, the other one didn't, but only because they ran out. I'm not holding that against them, because that just is a testament to how awesome this haunt is.
Yes. So, Rigor Mortis Haunted House, 5 Screams rated haunted attraction. Be sure to go check them out this season or check them out next season. You will be so, so happy that you did. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And even if you are, let us know. Let us know that you disagree with our review. We invite you to disagree. We invite you to agree with us, obviously.
Your opinions matter too.
They do. So, that is going to do it for this episode of the Terror Talks. So, I've been your host, Jeremy.
And I'm Ansley.
And until next time, be safe out there.
Be excellent to each other.
Don't text and drive.
And we'll see you
in the fog.
Hey, you guys survived to the end of the show. Congratulations, you're all final girl material. But don't worry, you'll have plenty more opportunities to fall victim to our horrifying creations throughout the season. Afraid to miss out on more content?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Don't worry, we've got you covered. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. You can also subscribe to our Libsyn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and anywhere else podcasts can be found.
Groovy.
Want to keep up with us regularly? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for all of our social media fun.
Don't fall asleep.
Go check out our website for our written reviews at theterrortalks.wixsite.com.
What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Want to help us keep the lights from flickering? You can give us a one-time donation of $3 to support the show by visiting glow.fm/theterrortalks. Simply go to that link, and your one-time donation will go back into keeping the show running from Michael, Freddie, and Jason for another day.
Dog will hunt, dog will hunt.
You can also subscribe to our Patreon by going to www.patreon.com/theterrortalks. Once there, you can subscribe to one of our 2 tiers, our lowest tier of $1 a month and our highest tier of $5 a month. That's less than 1 cup of coffee, and it all goes right back into our show. Anything else we're forgetting?
I tell you, Michael Myers is here in this
Oh yeah,
town.
please give us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcast and let us know that you saw the show. And if there's something you liked or even didn't like, you can also contact us directly at theterrortalks@gmail.com. Well, that does it for this spooky showing. Be safe out there and beware of ghouls, goblins, and monsters. But until next time, happy haunting.